2025, you had all of these goals. You were about to get so sexy and have the best health you've ever had in your life. Along with that, you wanted to have maybe a better relationship with your partner, your friends, your kids. You're about to go hard in your business, maybe take on more in your career, travel to different places. You are just gonna have the greatest year. Now, this video is particularly talking about your body, your health. So what you do is you say, I'm gonna look good. I'm gonna look so good. I'm gonna get so healthy. So you make all of these goals and you go hard. You are pushing it. You're pushing it for a week, a couple weeks, maybe a month. You're pushing it hard just to fall off by February. Some of you don't even make it to February. Some of you only make it a week. Some of you might make it a little bit longer. Why does this happen? That's what we're gonna get into in this video today. My name is Dr. Aisa McGirl. I'm a holistic fitness coach, physical therapist, speaker, and author, and this is Connect the Body Dots. We are gonna go over why this happens so that this year, 2026, or whenever you're watching this, you can do it. Because you can do it. Because you're amazing. Your body's amazing. If we just know what we're actually supposed to do. Now, why does this happen? Number one, you're going into this with no structure. We go to the gym, we say, I gotta work out, right? So we go to the gym, and you know what I see most people do first? They go right to the treadmill, right to the elliptical, and they sit on there for 30 minutes to an hour. And we got that arm fat, maybe that belly fat, maybe that inner thigh fat, right? So we do maybe that arm machine, that ab machine, that inner thigh machine, and that's our workout program. Or you saw something on Instagram or social media and you're like, oh, that looks cool. So you do that machine too. So we're going in to the gym doing random machines, a whole bunch of cardio each time that we go in. Maybe there's a random class that you throw in there, but there's no structure in this. We're just doing random things because we think this is what we're supposed to do. And we're putting in all this work. We're doing what we think we're supposed to do, but it's not actually working towards anything. We're just showing up. We need to have some structure in our program. Now we're gonna talk about this a little bit more for beginners or somebody who hasn't really nailed down the basics yet. Like I said, most of us, when we go to the gym, first thing that we do is cardio. So we find our cardio equipment. We go to the same one each time. Nobody better touch our machine because that's our machine, right? We go to our machine and we do it for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. I've been there. Don't get me wrong. I've been there. I had my machine too. So we do our machine, 45 minutes, and then maybe it's time to do the machines now. So what is the problem with this? Cardio is great, right? So it's gonna work our heart, it's gonna get our blood flowing, it's gonna get us moving. That's good, right? And if you're trying to lose weight, this is gonna help us burn more calories. So a lot of us know to lose weight, we have to burn more calories than we can consume. So this cardio is helping us burn more calories, right? That's good. If this is your goal, this could be a big part in burning more calories and losing weight. But here's the problem. At a certain point, you're probably gonna lose weight, but you'll likely lose muscle mass as well. And this is the problem. So many of us are losing muscle mass, and we do not wanna lose muscle mass. We want to build muscle mass. This muscle mass is important for everything in our body, our brain, our nerves, all the things that are going on in here, our metabolism. We need this muscle mass, especially as we age. If you're just doing cardio, we need to start thinking about more strength training. But you're doing your machines, right? Okay, good. So we're picking random machines that we think that's the area that we want to work on. We're picking random machines that we think we see that, oh, that looks cool. But we're not doing this with any type of structure, and we're not doing it with the proper parameters. So what do I mean by this? So we want to work all the muscle groups in our body. Like we don't want to just work this one part of our body. We want to work muscles everywhere. Start to pick exercises that target everywhere. And what you want to do is you want to have relatively the same workouts week after week. Meaning Mondays you always do this, Tuesdays you always do this, Wednesdays you always do this, Thursdays, Fridays. You want to be doing relatively the same thing each time that you go to the gym. Why? This is what allows your body to get used to it so that you're actually able to build that muscle. Because if you're doing a random machine each time that you go to the gym, your body never has a chance to actually adapt to it. And you're just making your body sore each time that you go because you're just doing something completely different each time and you're not able to build on top of that. To build muscle mass specifically, we want to be roughly in this 8 to 12 repetition range. There's more information out there, but you want to be roughly in this 8 to 12 repetition range. What this means is if you're getting to 15, 16, 17, and you feel like you could just keep going, that means the weight is likely too light for you. So we need to increase the weight. Some of us are doing maybe some strength training, but the load is too light. So we're doing exercises with the load being too light, so we're not actually going to be able to maximize this muscle growth. And I have a feeling some of you are thinking, I don't want to be big and bulky, right? Some of you said it, right? That's cool. Building muscle mass does not have to make you big and bulky. It'll make you strong, it'll make you healthy. And you could really target the areas that you're trying to build muscle mass. And building muscle mass, it's hard. You just don't end up with a big, gigantic bicep by doing some exercises a couple times a week. This just helps your body put on a healthy amount of muscle mass, and this helps your overall health. So if you're thinking that you're going to get bulky by doing some little bit of heavier weights, think again. It is very hard to do that, but you do want to do these things properly. So my suggestion to you, leg day, upper body day, leg day, upper body day. And yes, we could talk about core mobility, but we're going to talk about that towards the end. Number 2. So many of us go into these things with these fad diets. So there's the vegan, the carnivore diet, there's paleo, there's keto, there's all these different diets out there. Or we're following a specific meal plan. Like if it's outside of my meal plan, I don't know what to eat, right? So the thing about this is, one, depending on the diet that you're doing, it could be neglecting things that our body needs. Okay? Some of us are also doing these highly restrictive diets. 1,000, 1,200, 1,400 calories per day. What a toddler would eat, I might add. So you're starving, right? When we don't have our meal plan right in front of us, let's say we have a business meeting, let's say we're on a work trip, let's say we're on vacation, we don't know what to eat because our meal plan isn't right in front of us. We don't know what to eat. So we go right back to what we were eating before. And what we were eating before tasted so good. That's why we ate it, right? And when we eat a meal like that, and you're like, oh, ooh, getting good memories, right? And then the vacation lasts a couple days, right? So the next meal, oh, this is what I was missing. And then you get back home and the meal plan's right in front of you and you're like, I don't want this anymore. I'm not doing this, right? We need to build sustainable, healthy eating habits. Some of these diets, they may have their place. These meal plans, they may have their place. These caloric restrictions, they may have their place. If you're trying to lose weight, these caloric restrictions might have their place. But we want to address the foundations first. Okay. How do we eat? Okay. You want to start to have protein, right? Think turkey, chicken, fish, some dairy products, eggs. You want to start to have some protein, roughly about a palm size. If you're very active, maybe a bigger person, you might want to have 2 palm sizes. This is the protein size in your plate. Eat your vegetables. We are not 2 years old. We need to start to incorporate some more vegetables into our body. This is giving us so many vitamins and minerals, which is needed for everything in our body. And it also gives us some fiber. So many of us aren't pooping well. So many of us feel bloated. And a big reason is that because we're not getting these veggies with all this fiber in it. This will mean you will have to learn new different ways to cook your veggies, eat your veggies, so that you are able to get them in there. Now, I don't like to eat vegetables for breakfast, right? It's weird. I've done it before, but I don't prefer it. Sometimes you are able to sub your vegetables for higher fiber fruits. So like in the morning, I will always have my eggs with some berries, depending on the season. I might have some like apples or pears with it, but I always have my eggs with some type of fruit, some high fiber fruit in the morning. Now, starches, carbs. People will think of these as carbs, but starches, these are what get a bad rap. Okay? They say low carb, right? And yes, that has its place, because the problem that so many people face is we snack on these empty starches all the time. Think chips, think popcorn, think a lot of these just like bars, think all these desserts, think your drink at Starbucks, think your energy drink, think of all these extra things. And yeah, the drinks and stuff, they're not starches, but they're sugary, which kind of end up doing similar things to the starches. But what this does is it gives our body extra calories, extra energy that we may be trying to burn off, but it's just extra. So we don't actually burn it off. So it stays there and sits in our body. And when it sits in our body, this is what gets converted into potentially extra fat, or it just slows down our system because it's too much extra energy that we're not using. This is the problem. We're filling our body up with so many of these carbs. And yes, there's good carbs out there. Yes, there's good starches out there, and they do have their place. I really want you guys to emphasize is limiting these highly processed, snacky carbohydrates all day long. So you can have your starches. You can have some potatoes. You can have some rice and beans. You can have even some regular pasta, but it should not be your entire plate. When you go out to eat, you should not be getting an entire plate of pasta with no protein. You want to drive me crazy? Eat a plate of mac and cheese right in front of me with nothing else. Eat a plate of pasta in front of me with nothing else. Like, please add some protein in there, add some vegetables in there. We need to stop eating what we call these naked carbohydrates. These are wreaking havoc on our entire body. So what can you do? Can you eat your carbs? Can you eat your starches? Yes, you can, especially if you're more active, especially if you are actively building muscle mass. You can eventually have some pasta. You can have maybe some mac and cheese. Maybe not now because you got goals, right? But at some point in your life, you can have these. These things have their place, but they're not the majority of your meal. Stop making these carbohydrates, these starches, a majority of your meal. A majority of your meal should be protein. It should be vegetables. And this is how you get your dream health. This is how you get your dream body. And fats. Fats do not particularly make you fat. If you have a ton of fat in your diet, that can make you fat because that's extra energy in your body. But what I typically say is I usually don't have people add on any extra fat in their plate because when you're consuming proteins, they typically have fat. If you're consuming vegetables and you want to make them taste good, adding a little fat in there helps them taste better. Cheat code. Okay? So you want to be having protein, some source of fiber, particularly some vegetables, but it could be fruit sometimes, as well as smaller portions of your starches. And you want to be doing this 3 to 5 meals per day, roughly 3 to 5 meals per day. So there is some variance in there, and we'll kind of talk about that a little bit more at the end. But this is how you start to build healthy habits. And I feel like it could be confusing because there could be so much variety in this. And that's actually the good thing. There could be so much variety in this. You could start to actually build plates with things that you actually enjoy, things that you like to incorporate, things that are not that bad, but actually could benefit your body. The thing about this is you can go to a restaurant while you're on a vacation and eat healthy because you know how to eat healthy. Not that you're just blanketly following some type of meal plan. And let's say we're talking to the people who are specifically trying to lose weight. You can restrict your calories. I would say avoid this 12, 13, 1400 calories unless you're under medical supervision, because this is going to leave you starving. This is going to leave you with potentially depleting your body of particular nutrients that your body needs. So if this is you, just think twice about it. Make sure you're under medical supervision and just be conscious. How are you actually feeling on this? Because at a certain point in time, you're probably going to have to increase your calories, because eating this 12, 1400 calories per day, this is what toddlers need to survive. And as a full-grown adult, and you're eating what a toddler is supposed to have, this is highly unsustainable, and this is going to cause you to eventually fall off. Number 3, that back, that neck. It's been bothering you your entire workouts. Like, you leave with this stiff, achy neck. You leave with this tight back, and then you go to pick up a bag of groceries the next day, and you're like bracing. You're trying so hard not to move at all because your back is hurting. Now, why does this happen? Okay, multiple reasons. So stress is a big factor. Sitting is a factor. Going all day is a factor. But what I'm going to tell you guys is not more so like why this happens, but what you could particularly do to reduce these aches and pains. Okay, so this is my area of expertise. I'm a physical therapist. I treat various aches and pains: neck pain, back pain, shoulder pain, hip pain, pelvic floor conditions, anywhere in the body except hands. I treat them all. What's important is you're warming up, you're cooling down, you're incorporating some type of deep core work, not just abs. I'm talking about this innermost layer core work. And you can incorporate this in your warm-ups, in your cool downs. And you want to take special care that when you're doing your exercises, you're really working on your form. Meaning you're not just going into the exercise and just getting it done. We want to try to get our exercises done with optimal form, not perfect form, but trying to do these exercises to the best of our ability. Now, form, I can't tell you how to do every exercise in this video because that would take me all day. But what I like to tell people is have a nice tall spine, get some deep core engagement. So full breath in, breathe out, nice and slow, breathe out, nice and slow. I say that multiple times because that's what people neglect. They expect to feel it, but a nice slow breath out, and that gets those deep core muscles on. So this is going to be important when you're lifting weight at the gym to start to build strength, because we want these core muscles on to stabilize our body. This is going to be important when we're doing core work, so that we're not just targeting this outermost layer of our ab muscles, which can a lot of the times be a problem in itself. That's a whole nother video. But we want to start to incorporate this innermost layer, this deep core layer. And this is going to be so important in the form in all the exercise that we're doing. And briefly, I want to say everybody's a little bit different. So sometimes addressing these major things can really help with any particular injury or pain. But because we're different, some of us might need areas that are specifically targeted. This is when going to see a physical therapist in your local region, or maybe even a virtual physical therapist, to address the root of the issue, why this is happening, so that you are able to get better and get back to your workouts. this could be so important. Okay, so just keep that in the back of your mind. Number 4, you're miserable. Maybe you are doing everything right. Maybe you are doing your cardio, your strength training, you're warming up, you're cooling down, you're eating all of the meals like you're supposed to do. But you are so miserable. Okay. If this is the first time that you are very consistent with anything, very consistent with like a workout program, a health regimen, I want you to suffer through that misery for a little while. I want you to get used to kind of being bored with doing the same things over and over again, eating the same things over and over again. Your body might be used to doing something new every time, eating something that tastes really good every time. So we need to kind of bring your body back down to baseline, because yes, doing these new things, these fun things all the time, it might be great. Having a good meal every once in a while, yeah, it might taste good. But if you're accustomed to this, we need to kind of get you accustomed to kind of just being a little bit boring, having things that are maybe not bland, because healthy food doesn't have to taste bad, but a little bit more neutral. And then at a certain point, what would I say? I would say maybe 3 months or so. If you've been good, this might be a time where you might be able to have some type of treat. Not a whole cheat day, not a whole cheat week. Have some type of treat. Maybe you are able to actually skip a workout. Maybe you're actually able to have that piece of birthday cake. Maybe you're able to have maybe a couple slices of pizza. You do not have to be miserable in doing this. I think there is a certain point, especially if you're just starting off, you got to kind of suffer through it a little bit. It's going to be hard. It should be hard. But this is not something that lasts forever. At a certain point, we need to start to implement some of the things that you know that we just love. And some of the things that we love, like I love a good dessert every once in a while. I love a good slice of pizza every once in a while. I would be absolutely miserable if I just ate all of my healthy stuff all the time. I'm so human. So every once in a while, I'll have a piece of cake. I'll have a piece of pizza. And I'll do it with no guilt. But this is because I've followed all of these things leading up to that. I have everything. I have a very structured workout program. My eating habits are very consistent throughout the week. My mobility, my core, my form, it's very consistent throughout the week. I'm doing all of these other things first so that when time comes, when I do need to skip a workout, when I do want to eat something that might be not the best thing for me, it's more unforgiving. Number 5, why are you doing this? So many of us start off with a health regimen not really knowing why we're doing this. Like, we should be doing this because maybe this is what you see on social media. This is what you see your friends doing. This is what you should be doing. But I want you to dig a little bit deeper. You want to get healthy. You want to look better. Why? Because you want to grow up and enjoy your kids. Maybe it's because you see how your parents are getting older. You see how your grandparents are getting older, and you do not want to go down that same path. And I want to add in here right now, you do not have to go down that same path. It is up to you. Maybe you notice you don't feel confident in your clothes, and it's reflecting in your business. You have this burning passion, this purpose, and you know this is what you're supposed to do. But because you don't feel good, you don't feel confident. When you speak to people, you are not confident in the words that you're saying. You're not confident in the ideas that you're presenting. When you step into the room, it's kind of like you want to hide because maybe you just don't feel good in your body. Maybe it's not the image, but literally you just don't feel good. You feel like you're tense. You feel like you're bloated. You feel like you're weighed down. You feel heavy all the time. I'm saying this to you because whatever it is that is your goal, whatever it is that you're trying to do in life, your body is the vessel that gets you there. So when you go into your new year, your new goals, whatever it is that you're trying to do, I want you to understand your body is the vessel that gets you there. And I want you to know you can do it because you are amazing and your body is amazing if you just give it what it needs. And I just walked you through the basics of what you need to start your year off strong so that it is not just, it's not like last year. 2026, it's a new year. And this new year, it's just starting you to build these habits so that when next year comes, you're just building on everything that you've just done this year. So each year gets better and better and better, not worse and worse and worse. Because as we get older, our life, our health does not have to get worse and worse. It's all a matter of our habits that we take day to day. And the habits that I just outlined for you in your day to day, it's how you achieve your optimal health, your optimal body, and your optimal life. So, I just released my new book, Connect the Body Dots, the guide to holistically understanding your health and fitness to finally find the balance of feeling, functioning, and looking your best. So pretty much everything that I just talked about today. If you're interested, I will drop that link somewhere below. I want us to understand our bodies. So that's briefly what I went over here today, because I want us to start to be able to take these steps, okay? I need us to be able to take these steps. And if you just start to do the things I just told to you in this video today, you are about to see night and day changes in your body. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more, please look into my book. I put everything into this book because I know what it's like to do everything right, when everything right that you think is right, but it actually is everything wrong. So all of the tips that I just told you today is I've done the cardio, I've done the ab machine, the arm machines, I've done all of the diets, I've skipped the warm-ups, the cool downs, didn't really care about my form. I did this for the aesthetic, to try to look like the Instagram models, the people that I saw on TV. So I'm coming to you and saying this from experience. And if you take away anything from this video today, I want you to know that you are in control of your beautiful body. Bye.